Hey everyone, good morning. It is about 10:03, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I see a really great turnout for today's webinar, the last one of 2014, yippee. So we're hoping to get this one done here in about 20 minutes or so that we can get you on with the rest of your day and hopefully having some great celebrations tonight to bring in 2015. So as I do with every webinar, if you could, please just really quickly use that raise your hand option so that I can make sure everyone can hear me. It looks like everybody's kind of trying to find it. Okay, looks like everyone can hear me. Like I said, we've got a pretty good group on today, so I'm going to go ahead and keep everyone muted. That just kind of helps with the feedback issue, because I know some of you are probably, have this either on headphones or you have it potentially you're called in. So we tend to get a lot of feedback if there's a lot of people on and we don't keep them muted. So at some point at the very end, I will, if we've got a few minutes left within the 30 minutes, I'll go ahead and open it up for questions, and then I can always, if you raise your hand for a question, I can go ahead and unmute you, and then that way everyone can hear your question. So I'm going to put everybody's hands down, and we're going to go ahead and move forward. So what this webinar is going to cover is basically just, I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on your Coldwell Banker National profile, because I know that that's one that probably gets neglected a little bit more, but I'm also going to touch on just a couple of features with our online office CBWM and CBWMH profiles, because there's a few things that some of you aren't using, well, most of you aren't using, that really can help you customize and use your agent profile to really get some exposure and to get some activity going on your profile. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Coldwell Banker, the national profile page. So this kind of goes with basically both of your profile pages within Coldwell Banker Works and also Online Office. So why am I, telling you to do this now? Well, obviously we're on the eve of 2015. It's a really great time to go in, make sure your profile pages are up to date, make sure your picture is current, make sure you have new and fresh content. I absolutely think that your profile pages, especially your Online Office profile page, these should be updated on a regular basis. If you're directing people to your CBWM or CBWMH website, and you're having people go there for more than just, to read your profile or your bio, and you're sending them there to read your blog or to get market updates, you definitely need to be updating these on a regular basis. Don't update them once and let them go stale. So most importantly, these are free. These are there for you to use already. They absolutely build brand awareness. You have tons and tons of marketing dollars behind the Coldwell Banker National brand, so why not use that brand awareness to your benefit and get your name out there? Definitely you're going to rank higher in search results, and that is going to be most important with your Coldwell Banker National page. You absolutely have to update it to rank higher on your search results. Definitely get business and referrals, and then obviously this is kind of a no-brainer, showcase your listings and also your expertise. So the first thing that I think would be a really important thing to do is go to coldwellbanker.com, and you're going to be able to see the nice new and beautiful layout that coldwellbanker.com now has. But most importantly, go ahead and when you go to the website, click on agents, and then if I were you, I would probably put in the zip code where I work, and I would see where I come out in the results where I am on that list, because these are not alphabetical order. There is a science behind who comes up in what order, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So definitely figure out where you rank. Where are you ranking on the profile? So like I said, there is a science behind this. So why am I seeing who I'm seeing first on the list? Well, number one thing that will bump you to the top of the results is if you have a video. So on here I have agent video because ideally that's what I would like it to be. We talked about this yesterday. We've talked about this in the previous weeks with really using video in your marketing. So this would be a really great place to do that. So I say agent video, but really any video on your agent profile page is going to push you to the top of the rankings. So it doesn't matter if you have 30 listings. If there's an agent that has some of the minimum requirements and has a video on their profile, they're actually going to be ranked higher than that agent with 30 listings. So that's definitely number one. Second, the ones that are going to come in second in the results after those with the videos are going to be those that have set up the minimum 4 bullet points. I'm going to go into that and where you find those, and at least have their agent video, or excuse me, their agent photo in their profile. And then finally, everyone under that are going to be the agents basically who haven't set up their profile page or who don't have basically the minimums, which is just the 4 bullet points and also a photo on the page. So there really isn't much to do to make sure that you're at least getting bumped into the top third of the results, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So really quickly, I put in, when I did a search earlier, I put in Northville just to kind of see who was coming up top on the results list. And you can see John Goodman, Sean Riley, they have more complete profiles than others. So it looks like John has, at this time, had 16 listings, but also, look at that, has a video. Same thing with Sean. So Sean has a video as well. I did click on Sean just to see what his looked like. So this was kind of cool. Sean actually does have a agent video there. Now, just keep in mind that if you are going to put a video in your profile, it does have to come from YouTube. So whatever video you decide to use, you do have to upload it to YouTube first, and then you're going to be able to very quickly put it into your profile by just putting in the link. So again, you can see this is how Sean's information comes up, pretty basic. Now, I only have a snapshot, so you're not able to see his complete profile, but I did want you to see that it does push his profile to the top, and it does have his video kind of front and center there with all of his basic information, like any social media sites and things that he's linked up, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. So where do you go to update your national profile? A lot of people don't know how to access that, how to update it, and where to go. So we're going to go into that. So the first place that you need to go is ColdwellBankerWorks.com. So hopefully most of you have been here. Now, here's the kicker. You have to remember your login information. Now, if you remember, about probably 3 months back, Coldwell Banker did reset everyone's Coldwell Banker Works profile, their password and all of your credentials. So you might want to look back into your email. If for some reason you just can't find it, you don't know where it is, you don't know how to get in, unfortunately, us in the marketing department and myself and any of us basically at corporate, we don't have access to be able to reset your passwords for you. We can kind of do a little bit of troubleshooting for you, but the quickest thing to do is actually just going to be on that forgot your password. Go ahead and click on that forgot password if you don't know how to get in, and then work through it that way. I would call the help desk as my last option. If you can't get your login information by using that forgot your password, please try that first. But secondly, if you still can't get in or you're not getting any results, let me know. Shoot me a quick email or give me a call, and I will try to help troubleshoot that for you before you have to spend some time on hold with the call desk, or the help desk. So try that first. But once you get in, it's pretty easy. So the first thing that you're going to see, like you always see when you log into ColdwellBanker.com, ColdwellBankerWorks.com, is basically this first homepage. If you do have a picture, you're going to see it over to the left-hand side, but you're also going to see your name. And pretty much anything that is that blue color font is actually able to be clicked on and is going to be a live link. So go ahead and click on your name, and it's going to bring up this page. So pretty self-explanatory. You're going to see that link right there that says Edit Profile. Click on Edit Profile. Now, this is the page that's going to come up. Next, after you click on that edit profile, and basically you can see the box that I have, that red box around everything on the left-hand side. Those are going to be all the different things that you're going to have to fill in, or that you can go through to fill in, that's going to then show up on your national profile. So again, all you're going to have to do is click through all those different menu items. Every time you click on something and you fill in some of those fields, go ahead and click Save just to be safe. Now you can see at the bottom it does say, please note that it may take up to 24 hours for your profile or your changes to show up. So just keep that in mind. Some of these may not be an instant fix, but give it a day or so if you're going to go in and make some changes, and then see if they have updated, and if not, go ahead and get a hold of me. So again, go ahead and you can go through everything. First one that's going to come up is location, and then it's going to go to phone and internet. So now some of these areas you're not going to be able to change. Why is that? Well, some things are going to be tied to you that are our corporate office when you were onboarded and you came to the company, or you were part of the company, that we put in for you, and some things just are not able to be changed. Basically, if you see anything in the white boxes, you're going to be able to put that information and you're going to be able to change that. Other things, you're going to not be able to change, and that's because we don't want you to mess with it. And they might be things that assign you to a certain office, and we don't want you changing office addresses and things like that. So one thing I want to really show you is that you definitely can link your social media sites to your Coldwell Banker National page. So take the time to do that. Please don't guess what your URLs are. It's pretty easy to figure out what they are just by going to your Facebook page, Twitter page, whatever it might be. Go to your actual profile and then look at the web address, the browser bar. What you see there is what you want to put here. So you can just really quickly then copy and paste it into these boxes. And again, after you put those in, click Save. So this is going to be one of the big ones that I want to show you, this General tab. Here's these general bullets. This is where, if you don't want to do a video, but you still want to make sure that you're showing up a little bit higher in those search results, make sure you fill out at least 4. Now, there's really no set thing that we tell you have to put in here. You can see what I've put in for mine. A really good thing to do, and I think I mentioned this a little bit later in the slide, go on coldwellbanker.com, search for different agents. I wouldn't necessarily search within our company, but go to another state, find another zip code, and see what those agents are putting, just so you can kind of get an idea of some different information, things that other agents are putting into their different bullet fields here. And it's going to give you a really good idea as to some different things that you can put out that are going to seem a little bit more unique and aren't so canned. So again, make sure that you at least fill in 4 of these fields, and that's going to help bump you at least kind of second in line after those agents that have the videos. Okay, here's the next one, credentials. Again, you're free to determine what should go under each heading. You can see I put some of the different credentials that I have for different designations that I have, also different organizations that you're a part of. So number 1, by being a realtor and an agent with our company, you're already number 3, and number 4, you're already a member of the Michigan Association of Realtors and also NAR as well. So if you don't know what you should put there, well, there's a couple that you can automatically put there just by being a realtor. Again, here's your qualifications, different things you can put in here. This is going to be totally up to you. Remember, these aren't necessarily required fields. The only thing that I really would make sure that you do is those 4 in the general fields. So make sure that you at least do those. But these are all really secondary after those. So if you don't feel like you want to put anything here, you don't have to. Same thing for specialties. Maybe you really love working with first-time home buyers. Maybe you work in luxury markets. Maybe you like to do waterfronts or vacation homes. So this is going to be up to you what you want to put there. Same thing with the areas of expertise. Like I said, make sure you take a look around and see what other people are doing. You can see what I have put in mine. Real estate education, new age coaching, technology training, that type of information. So that appeals to me, that applies to me. So other things are going to definitely apply to you in your areas of expertise. I know I'm kind of going through these rather quickly, but you're going to have all the time that you would like to take on every single field. I just most importantly wanted to show you where this was and how you accessed it so that you can move forward and make sure that your national page is up to date and definitely has as much information as you can on there. So last but not least, please make sure that you put a picture there. This is where you're going to be able to put your agent profile picture. Go ahead and you can browse for it if you have it saved on your computer. And then you can see the next thing under this, and I think I did touch on it, was the video tab. This is going to be the #1 thing that you can do to make sure that you boost yourself to the top of the results, regardless of how many listings you have, how long you've been in the business. This is the one thing that you can do to make sure that you shoot to the top. So you can see here, I did tell you that you need to put it on YouTube first. That's going to be a really easy task to do. If for some reason you can't figure that out, Allison is a pro at it. I definitely know how to do that. So we could very quickly shove it on YouTube for you so that you can at least have that URL that you need to make sure that you can put it in your agent profile. Okay, so that actually ends it with the Coldwell Banker National page. Really quickly before I go to the online office and to our CBWM and CBWMH websites, I'm going to open it up really quick and see if anybody has any questions. So if you do have any questions in regards to your national profile page, at this time if you want to raise your hand, and I can go ahead and unmute you, and then that way we can answer any questions that anyone has for the profile pages before we move into the for our company pages. So it looks like Michelle has a question here. Okay, Michelle, I unmuted you, so if you can hear me, go ahead and ask your question. Oh, you there, Michelle? Michelle, I cannot hear you. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and give the option if anyone wants to type in questions in that chat area as well. You're going to be able to do that now too. Just in case your microphones aren't working, or if you don't have microphones, you're not going to probably be able to ask any questions. So let's see. I don't see any other hands up. If for some reason we end, oh, there's a question right there. Hang on one second. Oh, no questions. Okay. Michelle still has her hand up, but I'm not sure. Michelle, can you hear me? Or I'm not able to hear you yet. Let's see here. Let's see what the question is. Okay, Michelle, it looks like you must not be able to respond, but you are typing. So, Michelle, if you want to go ahead and type what question you have in that box, I can go ahead and answer that for you now. Okay, well, let's go ahead and, Michelle, I don't see your question there yet. So if for some reason we don't answer the question moving forward, gotcha. Okay, what Michelle wanted to point out is that CBWorks can actually be accessed through Online Office, that's cool. So I'm going to actually log into Online Office so you can see that as well. So again, Online Office, hopefully all of you know your passwords for this to be able to get in here, because this is where you're going to be doing all of your marketing moving forward, but also updating your agent profiles. So what Michelle wanted to point out is at the very, very bottom, you see there is a link to go into Coldwell Banker Works from there as well. So thank you, Michelle. That's a great tip to share with everyone. So okay, so where in Online Office do you update your agent profiles and your agent websites? Hopefully all of you are very, very familiar with this. I'm going to go ahead and move into it very quickly. The Administration tab at the very top, I'm going to click on that and then click on the Website Builder. So any of you that have been in my classes before know that when I work on my website, I like to open up another tab and actually have my website open at the same time, because these changes, as long as you click Save and go to your website and click Refresh, those changes are going to be there instantly. So I like to keep those two open. So there's only a couple of things that I wanted to show you with the few minutes that we have left. since I've been doing all of these webinars in the last few weeks, I've been directing you to my website, to these top 2 pages up here. And a lot of people don't know what those are or how they can do those. And this is a really great feature in Online Office and in your website for you to be able to customize your websites even more than just all of the other things that we give you access to. You're going to be able to create your own pages. So if any of you have went to my website and clicked on any of these links, you can see that it takes you to an entirely new page where really you can put anything you would like to put. And this is where I've been promoting the websites, the webinars, directing you to the webinars so that you can sign up. You can also go to my YouTube channel this way so you can see all of the pre-recorded webinars. So it's a really great place to put other information. So again, if you've been in any of my other classes or heard me talk about your online websites, this is a really great place to really put any information that you want to highlight and direct your clients to go to. So where do you create those 2? Actually I only have 2, but you can, it's kind of an endless amount. Where do you go to add these additional pages? When you're in your Online Office, and again, Administration and then Website Builder, there's this tab right here that says Add More Pages. So right here, click on Add More Pages. You can see here are the 2 pages that I've created. If I wanted to create another one, maybe I would say, let's see, add a page. Now, you have 2 options. You can create a blank page, which is what I did, and then customized it, or you can actually put a quick link for your listings on the top of your website. I like the blank pages because, again, these are very custom, and you can make them anything that you want them to be. So I would just click Next. Maybe this is where I was going to highlight all of the upcoming, I would say, 2015 webinars. And then below here is where I'd be able to type in any information that I wanted to. So I'm just going to kind of type in a little bit here. I'm going to click OK. So you can see here are the 2015 webinars. Now, if I wanted to change the order of these, anytime that I see that the 4 arrows there, I can just move things around that way. Move things to the top, move things to the bottom. It's going to be a great way to be able to quickly move things around. So I'm going to click Save. I'm going to go back to my website. Now you can see here's the 2015 webinars are right there. If I click on it, obviously, you know, I don't have a lot of content there, but just to show you how quickly you can put new links in, you're going to be able to customize those really quickly. This is where I've talked to all of you and really told you about having some additional content on your website other than just your listings and all of the real estate needs. Because, again, you want to create that need for people to keep coming back for more. So maybe, you know, this is where you get to highlight all of the upcoming events that are in your community. You know, based on the quarter, based on the month. Maybe it's January events in Rochester. Maybe it's going to be, you know, then next month you change it to the February events. All of us have access to our local chamber websites where you can very quickly find events that are coming up and share them on your own website. So that's a really great feature to use. Okay, going back to my website, I want to show you another feature that a lot of people are not using, and this is a really great field that was added when we recently upgraded the websites. So this area right here on my website, you can see is basically another form option. This is where, pretty self-explanatory, if you want to sign up to receive weekly social media tech tips, you can very easily put a message in there, put your first and last name, email, phone number, and then send that request out. So what happens when someone does that? I receive an email telling me that you want to sign up to receive emails, and then I put you on a list. Anytime I do any weekly social media or tech tips, you're going to receive those tips to your email. So what are some other ways that you can use this feature, and where is it? Going back into your Online Office, into the Administration tab and the Website Builder, I'm going to go back to the very front so you can see what you would see when you first log in. Again, you've got the set your look, customize your settings, and then build your home page. So that's actually where that feature is going to be under the build your home page. I'm going to click on build your home page, and you can see I have a lot of content here because I use as many as I possibly can when I built my website, just to show you all the other options that you have. So you can see right here under the narrow column, which again, switching back, all that means is that anything that you see under the narrow column is going to be on this side. Anything in the wide column is going to be on this side. So wide column, narrow column. So right here is that lead generation form. So if I clicked on that, I can see how I'm using that right now. I changed the title, put a description in, and then also this lead email recipient, that just means that's where I'm going to get that lead. It's going to come to that email address, and then this is the subject line that I've given it so that I know what that email is for when it comes in. So how would I add that lead generation form? I would go ahead and click Add Module. A little bit down the list, you can see this lead generation form. Click on that. Now this is going to just give you a quick snapshot as to what that form looks like or could look like. It doesn't mean it has to look that way. And then I would click Next. So unless you change it, it's going to be pretty basic. So why would you change it? Well, there's a million other ways on your website for people to already contact you. So make this form be something very specific. Maybe this is something that says sign up for monthly market updates. So how easy would that be? This is a very specific call to action. People are wanting to sign up for monthly updates. So how easily can you get monthly updates? Very easily. All of us have access to that in our MLS on a daily basis to see what days of market, days on market are, sale price, pendings, all of that information. So if you wanted to do something on a monthly basis, you're going to very quickly compile a list of clients and potential clients that are wanting to receive monthly updates from you. So how cool is that? So very easy thing to do. I could put, let's see, receive current what is that from me? And then I would say OK. Now, that probably added it to the very bottom of the list down here, which, let's see here. There it is at the very bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save, and then we're going to go back to my website so you can see where that is. I need to refresh it. And then I'm going to go down to the very, very bottom and see what that looks like. Now, again, mine's a little long here because I've got some other things in here that I need to clean up, but there is that, there's that custom form. So how cool is that you can customize an actual form, make it a very specific call to action. Maybe you make that form say, you know, get help getting pre-approved or learn how to be pre-approved for a mortgage. You have access to all of that information with everything that our company provides to you. So use that form, get a few more points for your web score, which we all like to do, and then again start building a client base, and that's a great way to generate some leads within your website and direct people there. So those were the only two things that I really wanted to touch on moving forward with this webinar. It looks like I'm at 10:32 right now, and again, like I've told you before, I like to keep these within 30 minutes. I know everybody's busy, especially today. So let me really quickly just open this up if anybody has any questions regarding Online Office, anything I can quickly answer regarding your agent website. So let's see if anybody has any hands up here. Let's see here. I think I've got a question. For some reason, I can't get to your question. Let's see here. It doesn't look like Oh, there's a question coming in. Okay, well, Michelle had asked if I could briefly go over customizing the monthly newsletter. Absolutely, I can. So I will go into customizing the monthly newsletter that comes out to all of you, obviously, on a monthly basis from the marketing department. So what I'm going to tell you at this point, if anybody wants to leave the webinar, you're more than welcome to at this point. I'm going to go ahead and keep on here and answer any questions that anyone has, and also know that this is being recorded, will be put on the YouTube channel probably within the hour. So go to the YouTube channel. If you don't know how to get to the YouTube channel, I'm going to show you really quickly before I move forward answering that question. Go to my website, and this is all something that all of you should be able to do, and you should be customizing your websites with your social media sites. Go to my website. Right below my information, you see this YouTube icon. Click on the YouTube icon, and then it's going to take you to the channel that's going to have all of the different webinars that have been posted. You can watch them at your leisure, watch them anytime you want. There's also some great videos on here regarding, we've got online office help, Grid 4 tutorials, Google, social media, agent promotion. So there's a lot of great stuff on there for you to look through if you have some time or you need some help moving forward with your online office and all of your profiles. So, okay, so to answer the question, let me see if there are any other questions really quick before I move forward. Looks like no, and it looks like most of you have stayed on the webinar, so that's great. So how do you customize your newsletter to send it out to all of your database that's in your online office? So actually pretty quick, very easy to do with a couple of clicks. Now I'm going to show you a fast way to send this out to basically everyone in your database. First thing you need to do, obviously log into Online Office and then click on Customer Connect. So there's a few ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way to do this in which you would be able to send this newsletter out to everyone in your database. So why would you want to send this newsletter out to everyone in your database? Well, I think a better question is, why would you not want to send this newsletter out to everyone in your database? So the way that I like to send the newsletters out is I actually go to Contacts, and what I would do personally, you can see I've got about 1,400, almost 1,500 contacts in my database. Now, most of them are you guys, so I won't bore you with a newsletter that you can easily send out yourself or get yourself. But just to show you really quick how you could send this out to everyone with just a few clicks, see this little button right underneath here that says All? Click on that box that says All. Now, pay attention to this bar that came up. First thing it said to me was basically, do I want to select all 25 contacts that basically the system can see on this page, or do I want to select all of my contacts? Well, I'm going to select all of my contacts because I'd like this newsletter to go out to everybody, regardless if you're a past client, if you're a friend, if you're a family, if you're a neighbor, or if you're a current client. So there you go. I have all 1,496 of my contacts selected. So the next thing that I'm going to do is actually use this drop-down menu right here, and this is just a quick shortcut to get you into the Marketing Center. So these newsletters are email form, so it would be a form of email marketing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Email Marketing. So the first thing that's going to pop up is the e-greetings, but what we're wanting to do right here is a newsletter. So I'm going to go down here at the bottom and select e-newsletter. And then here you can see are all of the at-home newsletters that you have to send out. So one thing that I do want to point out to you, because this is kind of sometimes people have this question, is they're dated. You can see there's the date and the month, but they're only dated for you to be able to distinguish what they are and to keep them apart. So the reason I tell you that is because just because this one says January doesn't mean that it wouldn't be appropriate to send in potentially July. So I do think that you should take a peek at that newsletter before you send it out, especially if the dates aren't the same, because you want to make sure you're not sending out something that's holiday related in July. just because you can, but definitely, utilize some of these other ones regardless of what the dates are on some of them. You can see this one is March, 6 new home to-dos, so you could easily send that out in any month of the year. So let's just go ahead and look at the December one, since technically we are still December for one more day. I'm going to go ahead and click on that newsletter. Now this is just going to give you a really quick sneak peek as to what it's going to look like. You're always going to see this demo user guide here until you personalize it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on personalize. Now what it's doing right now, because I did this a little backwards, is it's grabbing all those contacts and putting them, it's making the newsletter for me right now. So it's going to take just a second because I am attaching quite a few. Okay, so there is the, everybody is attached, and you can see over here on the left-hand side, why is that green check mark there? Well, that's because I already chose my recipients. I'm already telling the system who I want to send this newsletter to. But the other thing that you're able to do before you do that is choose a property. So why would you want to choose a property and highlight a property? Well, this is a really great place in your newsletter, since they aren't screaming real estate, for you to still put a little bit of real estate in your newsletter. So this is where you can put one of your recently listed properties. So how would you do that? All that you have to do is put the MLS number in there, or the property ID, or you can very quickly go to your listings. Now obviously I have no listings, but you could change these drop-down menus to see the listings that you're going to have the ability to choose to put in there. So let me just go ahead and go to all. I'm going to say office listings. Find one to throw in there. Looks like a lot of these are leases, but let's just go ahead and put one in. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight a listing in my newsletter. I'm going to click next. Now obviously number 2 I don't have to do because I already did that. You can see all of them are grabbed here. So question I get often is, why is this number, this 1442 number, different than the number of contacts that I have? Well, everyone may not have an email address in my contacts. So moving forward, that's all that I would have to know, is that if they don't have an email address, it's just not going to be able to send them that email, that newsletter, which is pretty self-explanatory, but that's kind of a nice feature. You don't have to worry about going through and picking who has an address and who does not. Just grab them all, because the system obviously is not going to send to somebody that it can't without having an email address attached to it. So if all of this looked good and I've got all of these contacts in here, I would go ahead and click next. It's always going to prompt me to save. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now it's going to give me a quick snapshot as to what my newsletter looks like. So you can see at the very top it did customize it. It put my name in here, so it looks like I wrote this newsletter. Pretty cool. Here is the actual contents of the newsletter. And then here at the bottom is that property that I decided to feature. Now in here I can't click on it because I'm still kind of in the template version, but if you sent this out, anyone that received it, this link right here would actually be live. They'd be able to click on that, and it's going to take them to your website with that property information, all of the full property information for that listing that you highlighted in your newsletter. And then as always, all of your information is going to be down here at the bottom. Everything is branded for you. Now, a couple of other things I want to show you. You're going to be able to actually customize this subject line a little bit if you want to. I think you should. If this is something you're doing on a monthly basis, then why would you not make this a little bit more custom and change that a little bit, make it a little bit more appropriate, make it specific to the month, whenever you're sending this, and you actually are going to be able to change when you send this out as well. So this is a really great feature too, because if you have a little bit of time, you can see how very quickly you could set up your newsletters for an entire quarter ahead of time. Maybe this was actually my January newsletter, but I like it to go out in the middle of the month. I could change that. to January. Maybe I like to put it out the second week, whatever that might be. Maybe I like it to go out at 3 o'clock. Again, these are all just showing you different features that you're going to be able to customize and really take advantage of the time that you have and get some of these mailings set up ahead of time to go out, and you won't even have to worry about it. They'll be sent out for you. So before you send out, which I'm not going to send this one out because I'm sure you guys don't all want to receive a newsletter, you would click on this box right here, and then you would go ahead and click the send button. Now this one right here says confirm scheduled send. That's because the date is a little bit in advance. So that's all that you would have to do, and it would send out to all of those contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. So hopefully that helped with that question as to how to send out any of the newsletters that you have and how to customize them. So really quick feature, really great thing to be able to do. Pretty minimal, really, but a great way to make sure that you're touching all of your clients in your database on a regular basis. So does anybody else have any other questions? Since all of you are still on, for the most part, if you have any questions on Online Office, let me know and we can try to answer them. I'll give it just a few minutes here to see if anybody has any other questions. Let's see here, I got another question. Okay, the question was, this can be done in mailing a flyer too. Absolutely. So same thing goes. Let's say you want to send a just listed property to all of your database, or maybe you do have lists set up. Maybe you have a current client list, which again, obviously, this is not current clients. These are all going to be agents. But I had this set up just for demo purposes. Maybe you want to be able to send out a just listed. Same thing. You could either select all of your contacts like I just did this way, or maybe you actually do have some of these lists set up. If you had a list set up, same thing goes. Go ahead and go into that list. Everyone is already there. Drop down, do an email marketing. Maybe I want to do a property promotion. Maybe I want to do a just listed. So same thing goes very, very quickly. You're going to be able to go in, do a just listed, just sold. Let's see right here, I would do a just listed property. I would personalize and send. It's grabbing all of those contacts. Right here is going to be the personal message that's come up. Really, you don't need to do a single thing to this if you don't want to. If you want to customize this middle part a little bit, go ahead and do so, but leave these top and bottom fields alone. The system knows what to put there based on what contacts it's sending. So if this is going to me, it would say Dear Robin, but it would obviously say sincerely your name, sincerely Robin Walker. So just move forward, clicking next. It's going to ask you to select a property. Same thing, throw a property in there, and then just keep clicking next. And then again, it's going to build a beautiful just listed property flyer for you to send out to your entire database with just a few clicks. So yep, same way that you do the newsletter, you do the property flyers. Okay, now it looks like, let's see if I've got any other questions. Doesn't look like I do. Okay, I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This one went a little bit longer, but I'm glad I was able to answer a few questions for you guys regarding the newsletters and the flyers. So again, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go ahead and upload this to YouTube. If you do go to the YouTube channel, let me show you something really quick that'll be a great feature so that you don't have to keep coming back here to look and see what is on the YouTube channel. When you go to the YouTube channel, take a second and just subscribe to it. There will be a button up here. Now this is mine, so you can't really see it here, but there will be a button up at the very top. It's a red button that just says subscribe. Now if you subscribe to that channel, what's going to happen is anytime that I load a new video onto the YouTube channel, it's going to send it directly to your email box. So that's a really great feature to use so that you don't have to come back and constantly look and see what's new, what's being added. It'll come right to your email box. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up, and I'll get that video loaded on there here within the next 15 minutes or so, as soon as I can get it done. I hope everyone has a great New Year's Eve. Please be safe, and I look forward to seeing all of you in 2015. Thanks, guys.